I'm going to show you guys what I had to do to get the high pressure diesel injection pump out of my truck. This actually had a little bit of a leak, and you can see down here is kind of wet. This is wait a minute, this is the top side. Bottom side down here is a little bit wet, and I had a little drip forming here in the truck, and I could actually smell fuel driving, and it was gross. It wasn't really bad. It wasn't making messy. I never noticed any spots anywhere, but I could smell it, and I figured, okay, we're at 100,000 miles. We have to do the timing belt. We're going to be in there. Let's change the injection pump. So I bought a brand new injection pump. And this injection pump was only about $369. It's an AC Delco part. I actually bought it from Rock Auto because the price was just right on. But getting this pump out of the truck is very difficult. If you look at GM service information, and I looked it over thoroughly, GM wants you to remove the engine to do this, and I'll show you in the engine bay why. What they want you to do, this bolt here, I'll show you, rewind a little bit here. The pump is held in by two studs. There's one stud here I have threaded in just temporarily here. And there was another stud right down here where this hole is drilled that went through back into there, and then the pump was located and slid back on like that. But getting to this nut with the engine in the truck is virtually impossible. You cannot do it. And I tried every which way. So what I wound up doing was drilling the bolt out, and of course I made a train wreck because you're drilling steel and aluminum, and it's never going to go right through the steel unless you're very, very lucky, and I was not lucky. So the hole's a little bit ugly. It doesn't really matter because this is a machine surface, and this is a machine surface. So the pump is located there, and we have this stud to clock it right because this pump is timed. It's a diesel. It's timed, so it has to be held in correctly. But we've got this one to locate with, and then once we snug this bolt down, we'll be fine. So let's address this bolt. Because I drilled that stud out, I no longer have, anything to thread into on the front cover. So what I did is I threaded this side of the pump, and I'm going to bring the bolt in from the front here. It's plenty clear. There's nothing in the way. The belt goes down here, and then the belt goes up through here. So this area is nothing. So I'm going to put a little bit of blue thread locker on it just to make sure that the bolt's not going to back out. But the bolt's plenty long. And I'll put some thread locker on it, and I think we're going to be okay. So that makes it serviceable. The second thing that makes it difficult, and you can see there's not a lot of room back in here. This is the engine mount bracket, and the pump, you slide it back with this metal bracket I'm about to talk about, it's going to hit that. So to get the pump out, you need to remove, there's the old pump, whoop, there it goes. You need to remove this bracket. And this bracket mounts on the pump like this, and I think the whole purpose of it was to protect the pump during assembly when the truck was being built. I don't see any real purpose for it now, so I'm leaving it out. But in order to get this thing out of the truck, it was difficult. So I'm going to go to the orientation how it sits in the truck. And in the truck, the engine mount is right here. So if you try and get this thing loose, it just backs up and runs right in the engine mount. So I actually re-straightened this out. What I did is I put an adjustable wrench here, and I bent this up here so it was virtually flat. And I'll put a still picture of what I did. But if you do that and bend this thing flat and do it after you get the bolts out, I suppose you could do it with the bolts in, with this bolt in. But I did it with both bolts out. And I was able to sort of angle this in there and then get my wrench on here and then bend the thing up. And then I was able to sort of snake the thing out, and no problem, it's out and done. We're done with it. But that's something you're going to need to do if you ever have to do an injection pump in your truck. You're not going to want to take the engine out. You're probably going to be just like me. You're just not going to want to take the engine out. So hopefully that helps. I'm going to put it back together. I'll take a couple shots and hopefully going to video the rest of the process. And I hope this was a meaningful video for you guys. Thanks for watching.